Good evening. Short talk on Hegel. It was the year my brother died. I lived up north and had few friends, or they all went away. Christmas Day, I was sitting in my armchair reading something about Hegel. You will forgive me if you are someone who knows a lot of Hegel or understands it. I do not and will paraphrase badly. But I understood him to be saying that he was fed up with popular criticism of his terrible prose, and claiming that conventional grammar, with its clumsy dichotomy of subject and verb, was in conflict with what he called speculation. Speculation being the proper business of philosophy. Speculation being the effort to grasp reality in its interactive entirety. The function of a sentence like "reason is spirit" was not to assert a fact, he said, but to lay reason side by side with spirit and allow their meanings to tenderly mingle in speculation. I was overjoyed by this notion of a philosophic space where words drift in gentle mutual redefinition of one another, but at the same time wretchedly lonely with all my family dead, and here it was Christmas Day. So I put on big boots and coat and went out to do some snow standing. Not since childhood have I done snow standing. I had forgot how astounding it is. I went to the middle of a woods, fir trees, the teachers of this all around. -20 degrees in the wind, but inside the trees is no wind. The world subtracts itself in layers. Outer sounds like traffic and shoveling vanish. Inner sounds become audible. Cracks, sighs, caresses, twigs, bird breath, toenails of squirrel. The fir trees move hugely. The white is perfectly curved, stunned with itself. Puffs of ice fog and some gold stuff floats up. Shadows rake their motionlessness across the snow, with the vibration of other shadow moving crosswise on them, shadow on shadow, in precise velocities. It is very cold, then that too begins to subtract itself. The body chills on the surface, but the core is hot, and it is possible to disconnect the surface, to withdraw to the core, where a ravishing peace flows in. So ravishing I am unembarrassed to use the word ravishing, and it is not a peace of separation from the senses, but the washing through peace of looking, listening, feeling at the very core of snow, at the very core of the care of snow. It has nothing to do with Hegel, and he would not admire the clumsily conventional sentences in which I've tried to tell about it, but I suspect if I had not been trying on the mood of Hegel's particular grammatical indignation that Christmas Day, I would never have gone out to stand in the snow, or stayed to speculate with it, or had the patience to sit down and make a record of speculation for myself, as if it were a worthy way to spend an afternoon, a plausible way to change the icy horror of holiday into a sort of homecoming. Merry Christmas from Hegel. Short talk on walking backwards. My mother forbade us to walk backwards. That is how the dead walk, she would say. Where did she get this idea? Perhaps from a bad translation. The dead, after all, do not walk backwards, but they do walk behind us. They have no lungs and cannot call out, but would love for us to turn around. They are victims of love, many of them. Short talk on major and minor. Major things are wind, evil, a good fighting horse, prepositions, inexhaustible love, the way people choose their king. Minor things include dirt, the names of schools of philosophy, mood and not having a mood, the correct time. There are more major things than minor things overall, yet there are more minor things than I have written here. But it is disheartening to list them. When I think of you hearing this, I do not want you to be taken captive, separated by a wire mesh lined with glass from your life itself, like some Electra. Short talk on pink. I was fond of the angels. Having them about the house added a gravitas to our occasions and a lot of light. The purest, most luminous light blew around them wherever they went. There were two of them. The one gave no trouble, usually lounging quiet in his corner of the fresco, practicing gallant gestures, a bit of a dreamer, I always thought. I nodded to him whenever I went up the stairs. It was the other one who showed temperament, stalking the salons, trailing folds of cloud or bloody sunset, making a show of his wings as if they were bigger or grander than other wings, too grand for our rooms. It vexed my father. Oh, it vexed him. The sound of wings fanning and closing downstairs made him grind his teeth. Flecks of gold feather appeared in our soup. Father was not a patient man. Still, I was shocked to hear savage cries from the basement one day and went down to look. I have to admit I had not actually realized you could melt angels down by application of heat and spiritual pressure. Not to mention the color. Why pink? Had one of them been having Tiepolo dreams when Father turned up the furnace? I had nothing to say, my emotions all over the place. I watched the whole process. And the saddest part, but no, it wasn't sadness so much as a dim, wild, rudimentary longing for something I could not name. As the angels melted, they seemed to devolve down the ages. At first heavenly beings, then prehistoric birds, then regular seagulls, then bipedal humans, just walking away, then glass. They just walked away into glass. Why does everyone look so much more lonely from the back? And finally, in defiance of live streaming technique, we're going to do, you and I, an interactive short talk in which I say a part, you say a part in your home, you say a part on your chairs, and it comes together to form a short meaning. So, your part is, let's buy it, what a bargain. 1, 2, 3.
Let's buy it, what a bargain.
Super, thank you. Okay, get ready. Short talk on the sensation of aeroplane takeoff. Well, you know, I wonder that could be true love running towards my life with its arms up, yelling,
Let's buy it, what a bargain.
Thank you and good night.